Welcome back for more. Yesterday was a doozy. I haven't recorded a 15-minute video in a long time. Now we're going to go into another one, so stay tuned. This one is, let's see how many verses we have in this one. Not super long. This is 20 verses. I think the next one's going to be a doozy. But let's go on with this and go to the next story. It's kind of a sad story. Let's see what it says. When Sarah was 127 years old, she died at Kiriath Arba, now called Hebron, in the land of Canaan. There Abraham mourned and wept for her. Then leaving her body, he said to the Hittite elders, "Here I am, a stranger and a foreigner among you. Please sell me a piece of land so I can give my wife a proper burial." The Hittites replied to Abraham, "Listen, my lord, you are an honored prince among us. Choose the finest of our tombs and bury her there. No one here will refuse to help you in this way." Then Abraham bowed low before the Hittites. He said, "Since you are willing to help me in this way, be so kind as to ask Ephron, son of Zohar, to let me buy his cave at Machpelah, down at the end of this field. I will pay the full price in the presence of a witness, so I have a permanent burial place for my family." Ephron was sitting there among the other elders, and he answered Abraham as the others listened, speaking publicly before all the Hittite elders of the town. "No, my lord," he said to Abraham, "please listen to me. I will give you the field and the cave. Here in the presence of my people, I give it to you. Go, bury your dead." Abraham again bowed low before the citizens of the land, and he replied to Ephron as everyone listened, "No, listen to me. I will buy it from you. Let me pay the full price for the field so I can bury my dead there." Ephron answered Abraham, "My lord, please listen to me. The land is worth 400 pieces of silver, but what is that between friends? Go ahead and bury your dead." So Abraham agreed. Ephron's price and paid the full amount he had suggested. 400 pieces of silver weighted according to the market standard. The Hittite elders witnessed the transaction. So Abraham bought the plot of land belonging to Ephron at Machpelah near Mamre. This included the field itself, the cave that it was in, and all the surrounding trees. It was transferred to Abraham as his permanent possession in the presence of the Hittite elders at the gate. Then Abraham buried his wife Sarah there in Canaan, in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, also called Hebron. So the field and cave were transferred from the Hittites to Abraham for use as a permanent burial place. Sad story. Everybody has to go towards an end. We are living in a pandemic right now where a lot of people do go towards an end, and people ask the questions, do I want to get the vaccine or do I think it's dangerous? And you know what? Either way, we're going to die. I think that's the reality of it. So that's up to everyone to decide, but we have to face the reality that death comes to us all. She lived to 127 years old, which is a ripe old age. She got to see Isaac grow up. You know, he hasn't found a wife because we haven't heard about it yet, and we'll get to that later on. But she passed away, and Abraham wanted to buy a plot of land as to have a piece of land for his own. And as we see people pass away, it's important for us to respect those who have gone. As a pastor, I hate doing funerals, I'll be honest. Not that, I don't want to help those who are in our church. It's very sad. And seeing people go. But it's something we all have to face. Something that we all have to be prepared for. And Abraham thanked God for what he had. He thanked God for his wife. He wept for his wife. And then he buried her. He buried her. He took care of her not only when she was alive, but he took care of her also when she passed away. So, a few things for us to learn here. We need to love those who are around us. Again, nobody's perfect, but love them because that's what God has put for him. And that's another thing too. God put Abraham and Sarah together. And this is a lesson for husbands and wives too. Regardless of your situation, God has put you and your husband together. Don't break the relationship. And even though you may be at your worst, the vows do say for better, for worse, in sickness and health, for richer and for poorer. And that's why I do like those vows, because it's to death do us part. And it's one of those things where, it's difficult. Being in a marriage relationship is not easy. Anyone who says, "Oh yeah, it's a cakewalk, it's totally easy," whatever, they're lying. Working with someone else with a differing opinion and living with them 24/7 and trying to come up with solutions to problems, there will always be conflict. The only time when there's no conflict is when you're dead. Even within yourself, there's conflict. And even if within ourselves too, we still can't manage our own bodies and our own minds and our own wills, let alone the will of someone else. So conflict is inevitable. It's gonna happen. And it will happen. But God took care of Abraham and Sarah. Abraham took care of Sarah, buried her correctly, and that was the start of him owning land in that region. He could have said, God told me this land is mine. Give me something. No. He did what is right. He knew that was going to be his future, but for now, he purchased that land. And that's what he did, and how he felt he should have done. So, short one, short chapter. Tomorrow's long, I'm pretty sure. But a reminder for us. Love those who are around you. Time is short. And we know death will come for all of us. So, be prepared. All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.